Hello traders, today is going to be a very interesting, high-speed, hopefully under 5-minute video. Let's begin. So this is USDC USDT on Mexi. The reason I'm looking at this and the reason I care about this, they offer 200x leverage and funding rates are actually kind of high. And because of that, I found a strategy that can work very, very well. 200x leverage is insane, of course. We all know that. But stablecoins don't really move that much, as you can see here. This is on the 1 hour time frame, and the movement is just not that much over a period of days. It's like maybe a few basis points at most, like 0.1% down, 0.1%. Because of that, you can do 200x leverage, and it is possible to be liquidated, but it's just not as likely. But a really big benefit of 200x leverage is this. Look at these funding rates. So you can see here that the funding rate has been like 0.0146 negative, all these negatives right here. Why is this important? Well, let's go look at this first rate right here, and let's go assume that you bought. Now, Mexi has no fees for maker orders. Let's say you use a limit order to buy, and you got paid this funding rate. Let's say that you have, let's go right here. Let's say that you had $1,000 worth of margin, and you were doing this at, let's say, 200x leverage. I mean, that would be insane, actually. Let's say you have $10 worth of margin, and you're at 200x leverage, which is 2,000. So if you do it that way, let's say your entry price was 1, and you bought, and your quantity in USDC would be 2,000 because, 10x leverage. Okay. This would be your liquidation price around here. But why is this important? Well, guess what? If there was a funding rate of 0.0146 negative, how much money would we make? Well, we would make 2,000 times 0.0146%. You would make about 30 cents. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, what's this divided by your initial margin of $10? You are only risking $10, but you're making 30 cents. So you're essentially making a 3% return in like minutes or like in 1 hour. So that's a really, really cool benefit of this. So let's say that we get these numbers up a little higher because there's a lot of liquidity here. Let's say that I wanted to buy $100,000 worth at 200x leverage, which I could do because the position limit is, I can do up to $440,000. So if I wanted to do an $100,000 position and get paid, these rates, 0.0146, well, I can do that times that, and I would make 14.6. But what would my initial margin be? Well, on 200x leverage, my initial margin would only be $500. So I'd be making 14.6 on $500. So again, yeah, I'd make about 3%. So this can basically make you about 9% a day, which is stupid. It's insane. But there is a drawback. So yes, you can use 200x leverage and you can make some wild trades. Like, right here with my $28.5, if I wanted to, which I'm probably gonna do after the video, I could buy, at 6.3, I could buy 5,470 USDC. If I earn this current funding rate, I would get times, contracts, I would get 54 cents, but I would make 54 cents on $28.5 that I have in this account. So, what's that? That's about a 2% return. So I can make about a 2% return in, one funding interval. So that's a crazy powerful thing that I found out about Mexi. I don't trust this exchange that much, but I do trust it enough to make these trades like this. And what I'm finding is that you can not only do this on USDC, but you can also do this on another stablecoin pair. Now, again, these funding rates might not look like much, and yeah, they're not. But when you're on 200x leverage, you can make a lot of money this way. Because if we go to, BUSD, we look at the funding rates here, they've been quite negative. 0.0216% means that, if you're on 200x leverage, essentially, I don't even have to do the math, it would just be 200 times that percent. You'd be making 200 times 0.0216. You'd be making a 4.32% increase on your account because you're using 200x leverage. So you would essentially just be making 4% in one funding interval. And then the next funding intervals, you make more money. So per day, you could make, like 10% a day. Now, again, there are drawbacks. Funding could go positive. If we look at the 14-day of BUSD, typically it's negative. I mean, funding could go positive, which, you know, of course could happen, which could lose you money. But the good news is that it is difficult to be liquidated on this. You know, if I was to show you guys one more time about liquidation price, let's just put in leverage. I'm on, let's say I want to buy with 200x leverage at a price of 1. You know, let's say I do that with, let's think, I'm going to do that with $10,000. So, you know, $50 are required because we're 200x leverage. I would be liquidated at 9989. So if I had bought at 1, I would be liquidated at 9989, which is, again, this is the hour chart. I would need price to go all the way down to here for me to be liquidated. Well, from if I had bought at 1, I would need price to go, you know, all the way down here below support for me to even be liquidated. And I would probably close out my position before that just to avoid paying a liquidation fee. But overall, this strategy can basically make a lot of money by exploiting the funding rate here. You know, going long if it's negative, going short if it's positive on BUSD or on the other coin of USDC. And these two coins on 200x leverage can pay you a lot of money. Again, this is not without risk, so definitely do your research on how funding rates work. Do remember that a negative funding rate means that longs get paid and shorts lose money, and a positive funding rate means shorts get paid and longs lose money. So, you know, if this is 200x leverage and you're short, well, you're going to lose 2% because 0.01 times 200 is 2%. But if you're long, you know, and you're on 200x leverage, you're going to make 2% in, you know, one funding interval. So it's a really attractive strategy. You can make essentially passive income as long as the funding rate stays negative or the funding rate stays positive. And yeah, that's basically going to do it for this video. The only reason this is really possible on this exchange is because of the leverage and because of the fee structure. Because the fees are so low at 0% and 0.01%, you can actually do this strategy and come out alive, you know, without paying too many fees. So that's going to do it for today's strategy. If you want other alpha like this, join the Discord in the description below. We have plenty of other strategies that can work as well. Pretty cool one here. Doing this on MEXC with USDC or BUSD. Yeah, happy trading, and I'll see you guys soon.